And which plan do you support, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
The Affordable Care Act.
And what is it about Obamacare that you do not like?
I just think that there's a lot of holes in it, and it needs to be revamped. I think
And you think
hasn't been thought out.
You think the Affordable Care Act is a better plan than Obamacare?
Better, but I'm not happy with that either.
An unemployed Trump voter who said they voted for Trump because he promised to kill Obamacare, but says he hopes Trump keeps his hands off the Affordable Care Act. I just voted for him because he's going to kill Obamacare. I am unemployed and Obamacare effing sucks. I'd rather just have the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, by itself instead of this communism shit. And then someone responded to him by saying, Obamacare is the ACA. It is literally keeping you alive. You voted to take away your health care. And then the original poster wrote back, quote, why the F do people have two different names for it?
It's so funny to see that people are now realizing Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing. It just makes me cackle because I worked in insurance when the flip over happened. And them people in Texas, when I say they used to call and cuss me out, I don't want this Obamacare.
People are breaking down on TikTok because they just realized Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act.
Real quick, my team, I'm going to try to explain this delicately because we have brains, so this is going to be extremely hard to get. Imagine taking an open book exam and still failing it. No, because this is for you. Republicans did it! Woo, woo, woo! Republicans have finally achieved their goal of canceling Obamacare.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, I want us to watch this reaction from black people. They are coming out and reacting to the MAGA people who voted against Obamacare. They are now coming out and realizing that Obamacare, it is a care, and majority of them, they are furious right now. So kindly guys, I want you to watch these reactions from black Americans, then I'll be back with more comment. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle. Remember, this video, it is only for educational purpose. Remember to give a video a thumbs up. See you.
An unemployed Trump voter who said they voted for Trump because he promised to kill Obamacare, but says he hopes Trump keeps his hands off the Affordable Care Act, which he relies upon. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. Here's what this guy wrote online. He wrote the following quote. I just voted for him because he's going to kill Obamacare. I am unemployed and Obamacare effing sucks. I'd rather just have the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, by itself instead of this communism shit. And then someone responded to him by saying, Obamacare is the ACA. It is literally keeping you alive. You voted to take away your health care. And then the original poster wrote back, quote, why the F do people have two different names for it? Obama equals bad and affordable equals good. I effing hate Democrats. Well, if you remember, it was the Republicans who branded it as Obamacare originally to try to scare people like you. Maybe your hate should be directed at those trying to take away your health care and not the people who are trying to actually save your life. How about that?
I'm sorry, man. This real life? This can't be real life right now. So I just saw the video of the guy who was saying that he voted for DT because he was going to get rid of Obamacare. He didn't like Obamacare, and he was voting to get rid of it. And he said he wasn't worried because he's unemployed, he's on disability, he's disabled. And he got his insurance through the Affordable Care Act. And when he said it, the guy was like, you know those are the same things, right? And the look on his face, I kid you not. So he spazzing out like, why would you name them two different things? So the guy's like, you literally voted to cancel your health insurance, the thing you depend on right now. God, I can't believe, like, this is what I'm looking forward to personally. The lives that are going to come over the next few years. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is my silver lining, because the jokes are just going to write themselves over the next couple years. It's funny, but it's not funny. Especially, working in healthcare, working as a healthcare provider, I understand how important it is for people to have their insurance to be able to take care of themselves. But I'm sorry, the literal definition of voting against your own best interest. You have insurance, through the Affordable Care Act, but you voted to get your insurance canceled. This can't be real life.
Republicans did it! Woo, woo, woo! Republicans have finally achieved their goal of canceling Obamacare. They did it, guys. Since 2016, they've been trying to take down Obamacare. They've been trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And after 8 Democratic senators, turncoats, decided to give in, to cave to Republicans, it seems likely that Republicans have finally achieved their goal of repealing the Affordable Care Act. Because let's be real, once those subsidies expire and people's premiums double, triple, quadruple in some cases, we already know what's gonna happen. Mass cancellation. Everybody's dumping Obamacare, myself included. Because I'm about to cancel my shit right now. Republicans have effectively gutted the Affordable Care Act. And now we're all gonna suffer. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Now insurance companies can make even more money. Going back to the good old days, guys. Don't you remember pre-existing conditions? Don't you remember having to get off of your parents' insurance once you hit 18 or once you graduate from college? We're gonna go back to drug prescription companies gouging us for things like insulin. We're gonna go back to millions of Americans being uninsured, guys. We're gonna go back to those millions of people being uninsured, upping premiums for the rest of us. This is just what the Republicans wanted. It's a great day for America.
There's this American man who came on big social media and said that he voted for Trump because he wanted Trump to scrap Obamacare. Mind you, he's unemployed, right? And if anybody knows about the American healthcare system, it is privatized, which means that you have to pay for your treatments and they can be very expensive. Nevertheless, he decided that he was going to vote for Donald Cheeto, translucent wig wearing as Trump, because he wanted Trump to scrap the Obamacare and continue with the Affordable Care Act. Not realizing that when Obama launched Obamacare, he made it clear that it was the ACA. The Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. So he basically scrapped his entire privilege of getting discounted or cheap healthcare. But that was not what behooved me. What behooved me was when the nigga found out what was I saying? Yeah. When he found out, bitch, that Obamacare and the ACA was the same thing. Hear this nigga. Why don't they label them different? The nigga started complaining that they weren't labeled different. Sir, they are the same. Yo, listen, I need to, good night.
So on today's episode of Trump Voters Had No Idea What They Were Voting For, this one is slightly more depressing than some of the others, I think. So apparently there's a big contingent of Trump voters who did not know that Obamacare and the ACA are the same thing. And I'm actually kind of surprised that, listen, I'm old enough to remember when the Affordable Care Act was passed. There was a lot of confusion. What is Obamacare? What is the Affordable Care Act? Yeah. If I ever heard somebody say that, like, I hate Obamacare, but I don't I don't dislike the Affordable Care Act, I would just have to tell them, hey, it's the same thing. And I figured we were past this. But no, we had people voting in the year 2024 who didn't know that these policies were the same thing. Like, whose fault is that? Who do we blame? Like, did Democrats not do a good enough job of explaining this? Did Republicans not do a good enough job? Did I not do a good enough job? Like, how did this happen?
People are breaking down on TikTok because they just realized Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. The heartbreaking part, so many have pre-existing conditions. One man admitted he voted for Trump without knowing it was Obamacare that allowed his mother with stage 4 cancer to get treatment. This is what happens when misinformation wins out over facts. So we've got Trump voters out here with pre-existing conditions who are out there crying because they just figured out that Obamacare, it's actually the Affordable Care Act. Seriously? These are the same folks who just voted to repeal the very law that's been helping them out. It's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? Like, they've been living life thinking they're good, all thanks to, you guessed it, Obamacare. This situation is a classic reminder of why it's so important to stay informed about what's really going on. I mean, understanding these things shouldn't be rocket science. Google is free. Don't Google after the election, Google before. But we've got all the information at our fingertips, but some folks still don't bother to dig a little deeper. It's frustrating to see people get caught up in political rhetoric without really knowing what they're voting for. At the end of the day, it's about your health and your future. You need to be smarter and more aware so we don't end up crying over something we could have understood better in the first place. Let's make sure we're all in the know the next time it counts in 2020.
It's so funny to see that people are now realizing Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing. It just makes me cackle because I worked in insurance when the flip over happened. And them people in Texas, when I say they used to call and cuss me out, I don't want this Obamacare. I don't want this Obamacare. And imagine me on the phone like, sir, it's not Obamacare. This is the Affordable Care Act. Yes, it is. It's called the Obamacare. They wanted to die on that hill. I tried to tell these people. I got called a nigger. A full-blown nigger. Mind you, you can't even see me through the phone. But for some reason, they knew I was. And they was like, you nigger, I don't want that Obamacare. It's the Affordable Care Act, sir. I wish y'all would have listened when y'all called me back in 2011, because y'all wouldn't be going through this right now. You know what's even more crazy about this whole thing? You get more benefits with the Affordable Care Act. If it wasn't for the Affordable Care Act, half of y'all would not be able to get insurance because we have what is called pre-existing conditions. So just think about it. If they get rid of it and you had COVID before, oh yeah, you can't get insurance, Bookie. Or it's going to be real, real high to the point you can't even afford it. Yeah, so y'all better be thinking Obama or get a clue, one of the two.
You know, many people refer to Obamacare as insurance, but it is important to understand that the Affordable Care Act, ACA, or Obamacare is not actually an insurance policy. Rather, it's just a federal law that regulates the health insurance industry and makes health insurance more affordable and accessible for Americans. So under the ACA, health insurance companies are required to offer essential health benefits such as coverage for preventive care, prescription drugs, and maternity care. The law also prohibits insurance companies from denying coverage to individuals with pre-existing conditions. In addition, the ACA established health insurance marketplaces where individuals and small businesses can purchase health insurance plans at affordable rates. So while the ACA is not an insurance policy itself, it has a significant impact on the insurance industry and has helped to make health insurance more accessible and affordable for millions of Americans.
Health insurance sucks, but believe me when I tell you it used to be a lot worse. This tweet is on to something. Before the ACA/Obamacare, insurance companies used to be able to deny you coverage for pre-existing conditions, and there were a lot of pre-existing conditions. If you had diabetes or survived a heart attack in the past, you were uninsurable. Full stop, no insurance for you. HIV, no insurance. Beat breast cancer? Congrats. Good luck if it ever comes back, because we ain't paying. That was just life in America until basically 10 years ago. And if you had conditions like high cholesterol, asthma, or even hay fever, insurance companies would cover you, but they'd just jack up your premiums instead. And even if you were covered, insurers could just cancel your entire policy if you made the teeniest mistake on your application. And believe me, they would move heaven and earth to find any errors and deny you coverage. It's called rescission, and just like denying coverage based on pre-existing conditions, it's illegal now thanks to the ACA, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. The far right wants nothing more than to kill the ACA and let the free market decide whether you live or die. Last time Trump was in office, he made repealing Obamacare one of his biggest goals, and he failed by just one vote. There's no reason he won't try again, especially as Republicans in Congress have become even more MAGA, not less, in the 7 years since. More than 40 40 million people rely on ACA-related policies for their health care. We cannot let this happen.
While some of you are celebrating today, please remember that the other half of America is terrified. There are women terrified for their health. There are parents terrified for their kids' education. People are terrified of losing their health care. Minorities are terrified. Millions of good people who paid billions of dollars into this economy are about to get ripped away from their families. And how you sleep at night knowing you voted for the mass deportation of an entire population of good people to rip them away from their families says so much about you. So while you are celebrating, this would be a really good time to practice that compassion and empathy that so many people lack. You know, the thing that Jesus would have wanted? Because that's the reason you voted for him, right? And that's if you're even capable of having compassion and empathy at all.
Apparently, a lot of them are figuring out that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing, and they actually voted against their own self-interest. If you voted for them, you took away my health care. Not only did you take away my health care, you took away my ability to get insurance at all because I have pre-existing conditions. And that's just one of the minuscule ways you've affected people in this country.
There's an unemployed Trump voter who said they voted for Trump because he promised to kill Obamacare, but says he hopes Trump keeps his hands off the Affordable Care Act, which he relies upon. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. Here's what this guy wrote online. He wrote the following, quote, I just voted for him because he's going to kill Obamacare. I am unemployed and Obamacare effing sucks. I'd rather just have the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, by itself instead of this communism shit. And then someone responded to him by saying, Obamacare is the ACA. It is literally keeping you alive. You voted to take away your health care. And then the original poster wrote back, quote, why the F do people have two different names for it? Obama equals bad and affordable equals good. I effing hate Democrats. Well, if you remember, it was the Republicans who branded it as Obamacare originally to try to scare people like you. Maybe your hate should be directed at those trying to take away your health care and not the people who are trying to actually save your life. How about that?
Here's something Republicans don't want you to know about. It turns out that when my husband retires, we'll be paying less money for health insurance than we were paying under his employer's health insurance plan. You know why that is? Obamacare. A lot of folks don't retire early because they don't understand that Obamacare can possibly provide cheaper health insurance than what they're currently paying. And we know that in this country, health insurance is tied to your employment. What do I have to say? Thanks, Obama.
The spectrum of political knowledge needed in order to understand the current landscape that we live in is so vast and so complex, where we have one end, I would argue, of people not even knowing the difference between Obamacare and Affordable Care Act because they are, again, the same thing. People say, oh, I don't like Obamacare, get rid of that, but I don't want to lose my insurance. We have people who are voting for policies such as tariffs and not even understanding what a tariff is. Giving very much Brexit, giving very much, we're going to leave the EU, and I don't even understand like what benefits I get from being in the EU. Oh, I have a lot of benefits. Actually, it's going to be even worse if I leave. It's going to be even worse if we have more tariffs. I had no idea. And at the other end, we have them creating a whole new branch of government called the Department of Government Efficiency, being run by two people, very efficient there. That spells Doge, which will skyrocket, which has already raised the price of a very niche meme cryptocurrency. You're telling me that the 60-plus-year-old senators can even fathom or understand what Doge is and what all of that is going on behind the scenes? In one breath, we are going to have new millionaires based off of a small niche digital coin, and we have other people going to be losing their Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid because the greedy people don't want them to have health insurance.
Obama does not care, and Obamacare really messed up your life. The Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, was signed into law in 2010 by Obama, and it was supposed to make your health care less expensive, and instead it made it extremely expensive. In 2025, it's also the reason that your government shut down, because the left wants you to pay hundreds of billions of dollars over the next decade to extend these COVID-era tax credits that some Obamacare peeps got. But the problem is that these government handouts have essentially created $0 insurance plans for some people, and it's fraught with abuse. So essentially people are claiming to be poorer than they are to get free health insurance. So it turns out that you and me are paying for $30 billion worth of fraud. There are about 11 million people who have Obamacare but don't even know it, but we're still paying for it. Private health insurance is more expensive because Obamacare is up 200%. Why wouldn't employee-sponsored insurers just hike up their costs because they know that the government, aka the taxpayer, is going to fund it? Everything about going to the doctor's office is more expensive, so we know Obamacare is not working, but the question is, where is the money going? Insurance companies. For example, United Healthcare, their stock is up over 1,000% since Obamacare started. Insurance companies are getting rich, city hospitals are getting rich. The medical establishment has made billions of dollars, but you and me, we have not saved a cent. And now we know that when Bernie Sanders claims that if these tax credits are not extended, that 50 million people will die, that's also a lie. 22 out of the 24 million people on Obamacare will still have 91% of their insurance covered by us. Essentially, people who were paying $0 will now pay a little bit. So sure, their premiums are doubling from 0 to 1. So the plan going forward, Democrats want to expand this abhorrent cycle of pain. Republicans either want to fix it or totally toss it. Trump is proposing these health savings accounts for Americans. So basically the government would just give you a couple grand in your account and then you could use it on whatever insurance plan you like. Or because that won't fix all of our problems, let Obamacare finally kick the bucket, get government out of healthcare, and then let insurance companies compete across state lines. Treat it like a business, not a government handout. Oh, look, it's my parents. Hi!
So many of you want to hear me talk about addiction-related stuff and not political, but I'm going to tie the two together as far as, other reasons, regardless of you disagreeing with me, why I chose not to vote red. So when the Affordable Care Act was put into place, insurance was required to recover mental health and addiction treatment for the first time. My daughter was able to go to treatment as many times as she did in 4 years because of that mandate. The therapies that I'm getting, trauma therapy, is covered because of the Affordable Care Act. The therapies that everyone else is getting for their mental health is covered because of the Affordable Care Act. And not to mention, pre-existing conditions were eliminated. The Republican Party has made it very clear that they want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And now they're going to be able to, right? They have control of the House and the Senate. And y'all know how I feel about addiction, corruption. But you're talking about now, are your visits for Suboxone clinics going to be covered? Obama couldn't even get the Affordable Care Act to where he wanted it to be. So the idea that Trump will be able to come up with a better plan, it's not going to be able to benefit the vulnerable populations that desperately need it. Healthcare should not be a luxury. It is a right. Everybody will need healthcare at some point. And this isn't about Trump or Kamala. It's not. Everybody wants to make it about that. Remove that from it. Look at Republicans and Democrats, all right? And if it wasn't for healthcare and it wasn't for reproductive rights, I probably wouldn't have even voted for the presidency, because I didn't vote the last two elections because I couldn't stand either candidate. But I couldn't support a party that wants to end healthcare for millions of people. I couldn't.
People do not understand that Obamacare created this awful thing for healthcare. Obamacare created these prices and premiums to where they are, and a lot of people don't understand that. I had a doctor yesterday tell another doctor that Obamacare is why medication prices are the way they are, because the companies didn't follow through with what they should have, and our government didn't follow through with what they should have. So here we are, a downward spiral to where U.S. citizens or Americans are not able to afford medications that they need. Hearing a doctor say that to another doctor, I was in complete shock. Complete and utter shock. But people don't think about it that way. Obamacare is what started a lot of this insurance and medication and all of this issues that we're having, and it's going to continue until our current government, people that we put in office, the ones we vote to be there, honestly do what is best for us. Until that is done, we're going to keep being in the situation we're in. We're going to keep having patients and people that cannot afford their medications that they need, whether it be to see, whether it be for their diabetes, no matter what the case is. And people need to understand that. It's not Trump. It's not the people that are currently there. The people that are currently there are the ones that are trying to fix it. And I just pray they can, because otherwise it's just going to get worse.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how Black Americans, they have come out and react towards the MAGA people who are they went ahead and vote against Obamacare. Right now they're coming out and realizing that Obamacare, it is care which it has been also helping them, and right now majority of them they are really furious. So I want also to read some of the shocking comments on the comment section and see what majority of Black people they have seen. And also guys, you can remember, you can share your thought on the comment section. Right now these MAGA people, they are having a rude awakening. Majority of them, they are realizing, first of all, from the voting, majority of them, they are coming out and realize that they voted against their own interests. They voted to punish other people, but right now they're the ones who are really being punished, and also they are regretting their votes. Right now they are regretting the votes that they went ahead and vote for this administration. So let me just read some of the comment and see what people they have said. Also, you can share your thought on the comment section. So this one is saying that are dying from their own hatred, literally. So this one is saying that the MAGA people, they are dying from their own hatred. You can imagine, these people, they hated what Obama did in America. They hated Obamacare, so majority of them, they went ahead and vote against Obamacare. Right now they are realizing that Obamacare, it is the care that which they have been using, which it has been supporting them. So after crashing the Obamacare, after the government taking away their care, the benefit, we have been seeing how the MAGA people, they have been suffering. So this one is saying that imagine making decision noted in racism. You can imagine making a decision rooted in racism. So this one is saying that racism is a hell of a drug. Yeah, racism, it is a hell of drug. This one saying that this guy will blame the Democrats regardless of the depth of his ignorance. This one saying that tired of this communist shit, the same shit that you are benefiting from. This one saying that wait until they grasp pre-existing conditions. This one is saying that they aren't smart enough to do a Google search on what is Obamacare. We have all cell phone knowledge is at your fingertips. You can imagine, this is telling them, this is telling these MAGA people, they didn't have enough time. You can imagine, they didn't have enough time to go on their phone or on their laptop to Google what is Obamacare. They had enough time. Right now, after they have gone ahead and vote against Obamacare, right now they are realizing that Obamacare is the care which it has been using to help them also. This one saying that this is what happened when you defund education somehow. Yeah, this is happened when you defund education, and that's why DJT, he always coming, he was always coming out and say how he love educated, and that's are the MAGA people. This one saying that never saw many unhappy winners. Never seen unhappy winners. This one saying that I want them to get everything for which they voted. Exactly. So this one saying that he wish MAGA people to vote for everything they wish for. You can imagine, these people, they went ahead first of all and vote for deportation. these people, they voted to punish black people. They voted to crash, to take away the benefit which also the government was lying them that the people who are enjoying the benefit, it is the black people. But after the benefit ended, we saw how majority of white people who they came out and cry because of how the benefit it was helping them. And after the cut of benefit, you can see they were crying because they are not getting any support because of a benefit cut. So these people right now, they are now realizing that the things that it has been there, it was also helping them, but not black people. So this one saying that evil was standing directly in front of them and they voted for him. This one saying that, are they not embarrassed that they are this hateful towards a group of people for no reason? This one saying that they said the same thing in 2016. They haven't locked it up in all the time. This was saying that let them get their orange savior to save their lives. This one is saying that when trying to be really racist goes horrible wrong. This one saying that we lived in uneducated times. We live in educated times, and those are the MAGA people. But black people, they are well educated, and black people right now, they know exactly what it is happening and how things should be done. This one is saying that Trump said he loves uneducated, and that it is true. This one is saying that Obama said during the Kamala Harris rallies that they are the ones who named it Obamacare. Exactly. So Obama said that the Obamacare, it was just a name, but it was a care, and the people who name it Obamacare, it is the MAGA people. This one saying that when Obama introduced the Affordable Care Act, Republicans nicknamed it Obamacare because they knew referring to Obama in the terms would act as a dog whistle to those who couldn't think nationally past their racism. What they didn't expect, I guess, was that naming it after Obama made it even more popular amongst Obama's supporters. It is not only didn't prevent the care from being enacted, which was their initial goals. It actually pushed it forward. So it is kind of ironic that naming it after Obama backfired on the people trying to use that as a dog whistle at first, and now backfiring amongst those who answered the call of the dog whistle because of their myphomic racist views. Q, the price is right. You lot sound. Source, I was alive and paying attention at the time. So you can see the people who went ahead and name it was the Republicans. They name it as a whistleblower so that people can hate about can hate what Obama is bringing, and they went ahead and say this is Obamacare. So these MAGA people, they went ahead and they voted to against Obamacare, and right now they're coming and realize that Obamacare is a care which the Republicans, that the ones who came in and name it. This are saying that literally used to work for a care, and the 90% of the customer were them folks. This one saying that, like my grandmother used to say, if you dig a ditch for someone else, you will end up falling into it yourself. I don't feel sorry for them at all. Yeah. So these people, they need, first of all, before they went doing something, these people, they need to go out and do research and check, because right now you can see the things that they've been voting to punish other, it is now coming to them. Yeah, and it is like God is punishing them, and also it is like God is using the JT to punish these MAGA people right now. This one saying that is pop and soda the same thing because I hate soda. This one saying that I love being a health insurance agent and explaining Obama is the A care to client during annual enrollment lol. This was saying that they were saying the same thing when it was first passed. The ignorance is astounding. This was saying that this is just priceless, all because it says Obama in it, just on him. You can imagine these people, they are so mad because they care it has Obama, and that's why they don't love it. They don't care if this Obamacare will affect them. They don't care. All they care is just to vote against it so that they can remove the name of Obama. So kindly guys, you can also share your thought in the comment section. I'll be reading it on my next video. So kindly guys, thank you so much. Subscribe and also give a video a thumbs up. See you on my next one, guys. Bye bye.